Okay, and we're live. Hi, this is Sarah from Screen Pages, episode 9 of Strategies to Combat Disruption. And today we're welcoming Sophie from Loqate onto the call. So Sophie, do you want to introduce yourself and the platform?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Sophie. I'm one of the senior channel partner managers at Loqate. Loqate's goal is helping every business in the world reach every customer in the world. We are the most trusted data specialist in location intelligence for business of all sizes and sectors. We have over 13,000 customers and partners. Some of the customers you may recognise are the likes of ASOS, Boohoo, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, and we do around 25 billion requests a year going through our platform. And on Black Friday, I think we had about 4 billion requests go through on Black Friday, and the network stayed up, the platform was all good. So yeah, we didn't have any complaints.
So brilliant. So just for those who, obviously, if you're already in e-commerce, you understand address sort of verification. But if you're one of we've had a lot of inquiries recently from merchants who are looking to, for the first time, go direct to consumer. So for their benefit, why is it really important to do address verification, and what are the benefits for a merchant?
So I think as a merchant, one of the key things is that you want people to receive their orders, their parcels in a timely manner and to the address that they've typed in. So with our type ahead functionality, you can just start typing your address, and it uses location biasing. So that means the IP address of the device that you're using will search the nearest address to that location. So if you're searching, if you live in Manchester and you put up a street name, it will bring back all the ones in Manchester closest to the IP address of the device. So it just creates a better user experience. You're not on the website having to type in every single line of address, and we see a lot less abandonment at carts when you have the Loqate service.
Yeah, and I guess that it's quite common for customers to sort of do typos and put in the wrong postcode and that sort of thing. I mean, I know I've done it myself when I sent something from Thornton's to my parents for Christmas once, and I got one letter of the postcode wrong and it never arrived. So
yeah, so we have the fuzzy matching for that. Yeah. So you start typing it, and if you start to spell it wrong, it will find it to what it thinks it should be. So that happens quite a lot. That's why we have the fuzzy matching installed.
So it's been interesting times with this whole COVID-19 thing. Have you guys noticed any sort of changes in how people are using the platform, or any? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of our customers are retail or leisure, and they'll have their stores, but they'll also have a website, and we've found that they're really relying on their websites now to generate the business for them. And the thing with that is that if they have the address verification tool installed, it means that we're able to deliver to that person at that address. Other products that we have that fall into that are helping these customers are the email verification and the phone verification. Because often when you go onto a website, they're both key things that you need to include. Yeah. And if you've placed an order, you'll get an order confirmation via email. If you've put in the wrong email address, you're not getting the confirmation. And a lot of companies, they're running on a skeleton staff. So their customer services team, they might only have 2 members of staff working when normally a team of 20. So it's reducing the amount of calls that they're then getting because they're not allowing people to place an order without typing the correct email address.
Yeah, so that's clever. Yeah, I guess that's really important, especially with, like you say, lots of people are on furlough at the moment because businesses have had to sort of reduce their overheads. So as much automation as you possibly can do through your website and your platform is a good thing, because it means you need less staff to actually fulfill orders, I guess.
Yeah, so it's just about capturing all the information straight away, and then you have that, and you're not having to go back through, find people's orders. Oh, you put it. A lot of people will get delivery updates by a text message as well. So not that you're not going to be in, but you may have gone out for a walk, and if you think, well, my delivery's coming at this time, I've had the text because they've given the correct telephone number. I'm going to make sure I'm at home and we'll go for our walk later on. So we found it really important, and we found a lot more companies pushing to have the address verification and the email and phone.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting actually, because at the moment there are lots of sort of companies that previously didn't sell direct to consumer. They were selling to retail or to restaurants or butchers, that sort of thing. I was talking to a merchant who, since the lockdown, used to be a meat wholesaler in Brighton, but they've suddenly sort of acquired 2,000 customers overnight because people are wanting to sort of order online, which is great because it's meant that they have, kept their business going. But one of the challenges they're having now is retaining those customers, because they had a lot of deliveries to the wrong address, and obviously meat is a perishable product, so it went off, and they're only sort of learning, because it all happened so quickly, what the most important things are. And actually the most important thing is getting that order to the customer, like you said, because otherwise you upset them once and that's it, they're never going to buy from you again.
Yeah, a good example of that is a customer of ours, Bloom and Wild. I don't know if you heard of them, but they deliver letterbox flowers.
Yes.
And so with flowers, they can only stay out of water for a limited amount of time, and they can only really stay covered up in a box for a limited amount of time. So it's so important for them to have the correct addresses of their customers, because otherwise they get sent to the wrong address, they get lost. They've lost the business, then they've had to resend new flowers out, which has cost them money. But then also the customer's a bit annoyed. If they were sending the flowers for somebody's birthday and they've not arrived because they didn't type the address in properly. So exactly the same thing, anyone having fresh produce or anything like that, where it's important that it arrives to that address on the right date, it's key.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we've talked a lot about sort of merchants in the UK, but I understand that the platform is global. So we have some merchants who are selling globally to, countries like America, Germany, the Far East, all of that stuff. You can offer address verification and email verification services to those.
Yes.
Well,
it's a global solution. I think we've got around 250 different territories across the world that we do the address verification for, and it's exactly the same thing. It doesn't look any different. It's the type ahead functionality, or you can search by the postcode or the area code, depending on which country it's in. And it also works for the email and the landline numbers as well.
And we've had some merchants actually start exploring selling globally since the lockdown, because there's been different countries opening up at different times, and so merchants here who were sort of perhaps selling bikinis, obviously the demand for bikinis with
in the UK.
But also with with people having cancelled their holidays and their travel plans is sort of reduced. However, if you can sell those bikinis to people living in Miami, who need bikinis,
who can sunbathe, then exactly. So it's a global solution. You can use it in so many different countries. And
you could just switch it. You can just switch it on.
Yeah, just counts as an extra lookup. The rates are very competitive on global. They're pretty much the same as the UK rates, and it just counts as another lookup from the credit bundle that you'd purchased.
Okay, cool, brilliant. So it's very sort of future-proof in that respect, I guess. And
sorry, one other thing to mention there, Sarah, is that we recently signed a deal with China for Chinese data. This is something that no one can get, and Chinese data is very hard to sort of understand. So We're in the process of rolling that out. I think the first customer that's using it is Nike. And then it will be rolled out across the board to all of our customers. But that's something that in the next 12 months, you'll see a lot more of the Chinese data coming through.
Right. And are there particular, one of the questions I had for you is that obviously everybody thinks about doing address verification on delivery addresses, for example, but I guess it applies for any sort of address that you're inputting into a website. So you would want to also perhaps do email verification on newsletter signups. Is that something that you can do as well?
Yeah, so I think a product that you may want to do for that is to do like maybe a data cleanse to make sure that the data that you're holding is accurate and correct.
Yeah.
So we can do a data cleanse, and that where we would append the addresses, the emails, the telephone numbers, and we'll sort of say to you, this percentage of your data is really healthy, this percentage isn't. And these addresses we actually have the forwarding addresses for, which means that you can then be in touch with the customers that you maybe are missing or you're sending marketing to, but they've moved address.
Okay. So can you actually do that for globally as well?
Yes.
Oh gosh, that's a really powerful tool.
Yeah. So the other element of that we're actually doing a bit of a promotion for at the moment due to COVID is because we've had so many deaths, is that we obviously can tell you of the data what percentage is actually deceased.
Okay.
And we can remove that. Nobody wants to market to obviously the deceased. It can be very insensitive. It's also a waste of money. So we're actually running something for the next 12 months where we will remove the deceased free of charge.
Oh gosh, well, that's really interesting actually. And what would merchants need to do in order to sort of take advantage of that? How should they reach out to you?
Yeah, sure. We just need their data in a secure file, and they'll upload it to an FTP site. I won't see their data. It will go very securely with a password and an email address to our FTP site. We'll then produce a report. This initial part is free of charge for us to produce the report. I think we normally charge around £700, but at the moment we're doing it free due to the COVID-19. And then from that, you'll get the report, and then we'll be able to give you the costs. And everyone's costs differ because some will have better data than others.
Yeah.
So it depends how many matches we can make, how many of your deceased we're going to remove. But yeah, it's really easy to do, and it can be done very quickly. And then from then, a lot of customers will think, I've done that bulk one, but constantly you're getting bad data through. People are always moving addresses, changing the telephone numbers. So customers may say, we'll pay for this initial one, and then actually we'll do a quarterly one, and we can just do a quarterly one, and you'll find the cost is so minimal if you do it that way, because you're constantly making sure that your data is clean and up to date.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of merchants don't do enough of that because, for example, when I get sent a catalogue, sometimes I get 3 copies of the same catalogue with a slightly different,
or catalogues for somebody else that used to live at your address.
Exactly, yeah, and I don't think they do enough of that, and it must cost them money because it's expensive sending out a catalogue.
Anybody that's sending out mailing, yeah, there's a cost involved in that. So we would really strongly advise to make sure that you're keeping your data healthy and on top of it.
Yeah, and I guess the same applies for, sending, there's a cost associated with sending emails to email.
Well, yeah, it's taking somebody in that organisation's time to pull the report of all the email addresses and to send out all the mails. Why would you want to send it to a load of bogus emails where it just gets chucked into a junk, folder?
Yeah, because it also affects your deliverability as well if a lot of your emails aren't being opened. Yeah, no. So there are lots of reasons why it's important to sort of maintain good data. So I wanted to sort of, because we're running out of time, I wanted to finish up on a sort of more personal note, which I've been doing with all of the companies we've been speaking to, and ask you how you found the lockdown from the sort of, what are the good bits, what are the bad bits,
I think The good bits have been it's nice in the morning. We're not all in a rush to get off and to go anywhere. And we can all sort of wake up naturally. We don't need to set an alarm because we've got a toddler, so she's not going to lie us in till 10 a.m. But so that's been nice, and it's been nice to have more time at home. I guess it's been hard working and parenting at the same time. But overall, we've kind of managed, and we've been really busy with work. We're speaking to a lot of more customers that have kind of put things on the back burner in the past, but now because everything is online and it's key, everyone's jumping on it, and they're like, yes, we need this address verification tool now. We can see that we're missing out on different deliveries, so work's been really busy. So yeah, it's been great, and we launched a new product. Just sort of as we were going into COVID, which is a product called What 3 Words. So we signed an agreement with What 3 Words, and it's basically the 3 words of a location. So if you maybe don't want to have people knocking on your door, touching your door and delivering things to your front door, you might say, I want you to leave it under my car, and you can find the What 3 Words of your car where it's parked and have things delivered under there. And so that's been fantastic within the retail sector, because that's where, the way things are going. And I think when we come out of COVID, if you're not going to be in and your front door's maybe quite exposed, you don't want things left there. You might want it left at the background, the bins. So you can put in the What 3 Words of that. So yeah, we're still carrying on, we're still launching new things. So it's quite exciting. We're fortunate that we're able to launch new products. And
Sarah, just out of interest, is there a What 3 Words for everything? Like, my big pot plant at the front of my house, would that have a What?
Yeah, it's in a 3 meter. It's a 3 meter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you go on the website, the What 3 Words website, and put in whatever you want, it will come up. It was predominantly built for countries that don't have addresses, so in parts of Africa or Eastern Europe, places like that where they may not have an address. It was to give everybody an address.
Okay. Cool. So, and but bad bits about the lockdown? Any?
Not being able to get my hair done.
Well, actually, talking about hair, so I've been sort of buying my at-home hair, dye to do my roots, and I did it, and it cost £6.99, and I'm thinking,
why don't I do this all the time?
I've been going to the hairdresser.
Oh, I have highlights, so I just have to scrape it back, and I can't do anything. I've missed a few different things like that, and obviously seeing friends and family is, it's and not being able to go on holiday as well. That's a bit of a, isn't it?
That's what I've found the toughest, actually, is because I like to travel a lot whenever I can, and I'm a bit sort of worried that it won't be the same again, with all the airlines going bust and all that.
I know. Frightening. So,
yeah, time to emigrate, I think, to
Dubai or somewhere that's not really been affected.
That's right. Now that we all know how to work remotely.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Anyway, so listen, Sophie, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for running us through what you guys can offer. If merchants want to sort of find out more, what's the best way for them to reach out to you guys? Should they go on the website or send an email?
I think send an email, and then we can sort of link them through the screen pages relationship. So yeah, it would be to send me an email, which I'm sure you can distribute out.
Yes, we will. We'll share your email address. You're happy for us to share that, are you?
Of course, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't be inundated.
Hopefully I will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, great. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. And enjoy the long weekend that's coming up. Yeah, hope the weather will be good.
Yeah, thank you as well, Sarah.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bye.